exactly with the correct amount.
That was Betrayer by Terror. Grab your copy of Terror's new release, The Damned, the Shamed, through Century Media at www.centurymedia.com. To check out their music, log on to myspace.com/terror and catch the band playing live on the 10 for 10 tour. For details, go to myspace.com 10 for 10 tour. Hi, DJ Tina here, host of HMTV Canada Easy. With me today is Scott, vocalist for the band Terror. Hi Scott, congratulations on the release of your album, The Damned, the Shamed. Can you tell us about The Damned, the Shamed, how it takes the listener on a journey of reckoning with the rotten things gone wrong in life and wanting to change? Are there messages in this album the band wants the listener to come across?
Well, thank you for the nice words. But, yeah, I mean, definitely, I think Terror's, a pretty negative word, and I think if you just heard the band name, you might think we're kind of negative, but I think we're a very positive band, but also realistic, and I think, the record's kind of saying that the world's in a sad state, and it's a kind of a messed up place, and that humanity is responsible for a lot of the disgusting things we see in this world. And I think a lot of the lyrics on the new record are kind of a reflection on the fact that Terror has been able to travel the world and play our music all over the place, even, places you'd never think, like Korea or New Zealand or, Serbia, or places that you never really expect a band like us to go to. We have, and we've been lucky enough to be greeted with open arms there. And I've just kind of learned that a lot of people like me in this world found music, and I listen to a lot of mainstream stuff too, but like real underground music with real lyrics is something that, I think a lot of people really need in their lives to get through a lot of the crap that we're dealt. So that's kind of the message of this record.
What inspires or motivates the band to write these dark lyrics about the environment we live in and hopelessness and the state of our very existence?
It's pretty simple. If you take a walk around outside in any, even any city or any suburb, you see a lot of, you could just go into a grocery store and run across some racist nonsense, or, turn on the news. That'll give you enough to think about for, a whole day, just seeing the things that people do to each other and how, greed has kind of taken over everything. And, with our music also, too, it's not very happy or up, doesn't sound like something that puts a smile on your face. So, like I said, the lyrics come off in a way that things are messed up, but there's got to be a way to get through it.
I really dig the hardcore sounds coming from this album. Were there any challenges in laying down the song tracks to the recording for The Damned, the Shamed?
The record went pretty smoothly. The writing process is also, it's kind of nerve-wracking, it always is, but we were pretty prepared when we went to the studio. We had every song except one pretty much done and did pre-production with the vocals, so we were in a pretty good position when we went in. Also, our drummer, Nick, pretty much every time we go into the studio, he lays the drums down really fast, so it gives us more time. The time we allotted for drums, he frees up for other stuff, so we get ahead of schedule all the time. So, and we also worked with the same producer and engineer that we went to for the last record, so we're pretty comfortable with him.
How did you land the opportunity to work with the well-renowned Zeus for the mixing and the mastering of this album?
Like I said, we went to him the record before this. Mm-hmm. I think that, I had met him before. He was in some bands that my old bands had played with.
Oh, okay.
And he started recording more bands and bands that we really like and respected, and we really liked the sounds that he was getting, and the finished products he was putting out were amazing. So we said that's where we want to go, so that's where we went.
Who is the incredible artist that designed Terror's cover, The Damned, the Shamed? And is this fantastic artist that designs all the band's merchandise?
No. Well, his name is Asugo, that he did the cover art for the record. He's from Japan.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, I mean, he was someone we just hit up, kind of thinking maybe he wouldn't be interested in doing it, and he said he would love to do it and did it for a very, very reasonable price. And and he did not design anything else for us. Our merch gets designed. Our guitarist Martin does a lot of it. Our old bass player Busky does a lot of it, and then sometimes we just have random people doing stuff for us.
Do all the band members share the same influences for their music, and do they like to experiment and try new ideas for their sound?
I would say everyone in Terror has a lot of the same main influences. You know, I wouldn't say we're all a bunch of robots who listen to the same exact things. There's definitely things that certain people listen to that certain people, you know, don't want to hear. But the main core of what influences, I think we all agree on as, you know, something that we can all feel. And definitely, you know, in many ways, we're always out there trying new things. We're not afraid to step out of the box. We're not afraid to play with different bands. We're not afraid to try different things. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't work and it isn't Terror, we're not going to go with it. But, you know, we don't have this set box that we need to follow. You know, if it feels right, then that's what we're going to go with.
Have you started playing on the 10 for 10 tour yet?
Yes, we have. Today's day 7, I think.
How's the tour going?
It's going incredibly well.
Have you received a great turnout of fans?
I'm having a great time.
Will you be covering live video coverage of this tour, behind-the-scene insanities or anything?
Nah, we don't roll with a video camera, really.
Okay. What comes to mind?
If we had one, we would, but we don't have one.
Okay. What comes to mind as being the most memorable, crazy, or funny music venue, festival, or tour that the band has been on, and why?
Whew. I would say it was, we did a tour in Europe called the Persistence Tour. We just did it this past year, but we also did it like 3 years ago, and it was with Madball, Sick of It All.
Wow.
It was with Madball, Sick of It All, Comeback Kid, Walls of Jericho, and a few other bands, and it was just incredible shows every night, and it was just a great vibe. And it was only like 2 weeks long, so everything was wonderful with that.
Yeah, when you're having a good time, time flies, eh?
Yeah, sometimes.
What's the band's focus for the remainder of 2009? Is the emphasis on touring to promote The Damned, The Shamed, or is the band working on new songs for another album?
Both at the same time. We've got a lot of touring coming up. We're going to, after this, the next thing we do is pretty crazy. It's like Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, China, Indonesia, Thailand. I might be forgetting a country or two, but that's going to be wild. But in that, you know, when we're out, we're always writing also. So, you know, we're not the type of band that can take 6 months off to write a record because, you know, it isn't really financially possible. But, yeah, we'll be doing both at the same time.
That's very impressive. Europe, wow.
Thank you, my friend.
Before we wrap up our interview, do you have any shout-outs to friends or fans?
You know, I would like anyone that's hearing us, that's listening, that supports us. That's amazing. We totally appreciate that. And, you know, we're not the type of band that has the ego or think we're cool. We know without people checking us out and giving us, you know, their energy and coming to our shows, we're nothing. So we'll always appreciate that.
I want to thank Terror, Jerry, and Century Media for this interview. And Horns High, you rock.
Well, thank you, too. That was wonderful.